Alright, it's been a little while since we've done any product information updates. Because while we have got stuff, and it's nothing that's been really bizarre or different. A couple things here I want to show you. I got a couple more 3D printed items from Shapeways, and just thought I'd kind of show you what they are. The one thing I have here, the first one, is a Padmount transformer. It's fairly well done. These could be seen outside of a lot of office buildings, industries, sometimes even in neighborhoods, although maybe not quite this large. This is, by my estimation, maybe like a 750 kVA transformer, in that range. And you can kind of see what it looks like here. It's not too bad. This guy right here is just under 6 foot tall, HO scale. I just kind of put him in there for reference. So it's fairly well done. The actual transformer part is here in the back. That's just a cabinet. It's basically a sheet metal enclosure, and usually on one side you have the low voltage side with your level gauge, pressure vacuum gauge, usually a pressure vacuum bleeder and whatnot. On the other side you'll have your high voltage, and usually the lines all come in from the bottom, usually. And this one's got, you can see it's got radiators all the way around it, which look pretty good. It does even have on the back of these, and I don't know how well it'll show up being as white as it is, but it does have, again, this is the cover of the transformer. There's another little cover, which is actually the way they are, the ones I've seen in our shop. This is like a removable cover. It might not be that big, but it's fine. And underneath that would be like a little manhole. Actually, not even a manhole, more like a hand hole, where you can open it up to get access into the transformer. And the reason I know this is we had a unit very similar to this recently in one of our shops that we had to go inside and flush it because we were changing it. The customer wanted us to change it from mineral oil to FR3 fluid, which is a more low flammability fluid based on where they wanted to move it. So I know, and it looked almost exactly like this 3D printed model here, so I know that there is definitely a hand hole underneath here that gives you access to the core and coil inside, at least by hand. I mean, a person, unless you're really tiny, will be hard pressed to fit in there, but I guess some little tiny person could. You could lower your son or daughter in there by their feet. So, but overall, this is a pretty nice looking little detail. I didn't get it painted. You can get it in a couple different varieties. This particular one is white, strong, flexible, polished. And then what I'll do is I'll paint it the ANSI green color that most pad mounts are. They do offer it in frosted ultra detail, but it gets pricier. And they do actually have a green one, and this same type of material, green, strong and flexible polish. But the green, at least on the site, looked a little bit too bright. I kind of know what the ANSI, I forget the exact number, if it's an ANSI 45 or what it is, but anyway, but the green color that you see on most of these pad mounts, it didn't look quite right. So I'll go ahead and match it up and then paint it. So it's pretty nice. It's got the little handle here for the door. You get it painted up and put some. There's some warning stickers on it. High voltage warning stickers and whatnot. But overall, and I'll put the information on the creator down in the description. But this is only about $9, maybe 10 or so. I'll put the exact price down below. Nice little detail. Again, does need a little bit of work in terms of getting it painted. It doesn't have, and it's probably going to be really hard to show because I don't know my camcorder is going to focus well enough, but most of these have little lifting lugs, which maybe they're trying to simulate there, but I think they're more going down to the radiators, so you can lift it. Some of these, if it's on a heavy-duty skid, you could skid lift it with a pretty beefy fork truck, but a lot of them have lifting lugs, so you can crane it, because this here really has very little weight. All the weight's back here on the transformer portion. So just wanted to show that. Very nice detail. I might buy a couple more. He does make some smaller ones, and another one that doesn't have this. This has almost got like a nice little pad on it. So if you wanted to have a concrete pad for it, just paint this. Oh, I knocked the guy over. Just paint that a concrete color and you've got a pretty quick, nice little, relatively inexpensive detail for the layout. So, all right, I also got 2 automobiles. Let's take a look at those. Okay, autos. As I was looking around, again, we model the modern era, 2015, 16, whatever you want to call the modern time, up to date. So it's a current day layout, and it tends to get difficult sometimes to find appropriate vehicles. I've looked at ones from Herpa and Viking, and I know Trident makes some. Riverport Station makes some nice trucks. Atlas even has some decent vehicles. But if you're going to have a layout, you need a fair number of them, and it tends to be hard, at least in my experience. And please comment if you found a good supplier for the normal, the mundane. I'm not talking about Porsches, and there's a lot of the European manufacturers make Audis and Mercedes-Benz and Porsches and Rolls-Royce, and yeah, that's nice, they exist, but I'm just looking for your everyday run-of-the-mill cars you're going to see out driving around on a Saturday afternoon watching trains. Honda Accords, Honda Pilots, Ford Focus, even Kia, Hyundai, the other type of pickup trucks you see, Toyota Camrys, that kind of stuff, that are just the normal ubiquitous vehicles that you see, not the real special ones. So I found another guy who makes automobiles and thought I would try them, because the thing my concern with over the 3D printed car was, can I do the interior of it? Because any car, you really have to have a driver in it if it's driving, in my opinion, to make it look right. And I didn't know how well these would work, but I just got 2 of them just to try them. So right here, the one in this vehicle is a 2013 dash, so I guess to current day or so, Chevy Malibu, and this is a Volvo XC70. Both of which I've seen around. In fact, one of my neighbors has one of these, so I might even paint it the same color. I wanted to get them just to see what they look like, and what was I going to do about the windows. A lot of the modern cars, the side windows may be tinted, so that you might be able to paint those. But I wasn't sure what to do about the front and the rear, which normally are not tinted. So here they are. I think they look pretty nice. A couple things I noted about them. One positive thing I noted about them is they actually are hollow. I guess I'll call it hollow for lack of a better word. I don't know if you can see in there. So there may be a way, if you wanted to get to adding lights or detailing the interior, to carefully, have not tried it yet, obviously, carefully cut the bottom somehow, maybe add some seats, or at least get a driver in there. And then I didn't know, you can see this one's actually got 2 holes, and the Volvo's got 1. Could I then actually come in and perhaps cut the front windshields out and put some type of material in there to make it look like it's real glass? I know you can paint them, but it probably wouldn't look right, because again, while the sides may be tinted, the front and the rear certainly normally are not, obviously. So I'm not sure yet, but like I said, I wanted to try them and show them and see what they look like. I think they look pretty good. Again, if you're going to do them maybe in a parking lot, something like this, parked here, let's say they're parked by a Padmount transformer, and they're sitting like that, and you're farther away, they're going to look pretty good. Now, they aren't the cheapest things in the world. The Volvo in the white, strong, and flexible is $14.50, and the Chevy Malibu, same material, is $15. Now you can bump it up a notch to different material, which might be smoother, because these do have a little bit of a grainy, again, I'm not sure how well my camcorder will show it, a little bit of a grainy texture to it. That's probably going to need some sanding, and pardon me. Seems every time I start to record something, I get a phone call, and it's never anyone good. It's always someone trying to sell something. Alright, so like I said, the material on these is the white, strong, flexible. It's a little bit grainy, which is great for culverts and for concrete pipe and certain things like that. But for a car, maybe not the best. But if you step these up to the smoother material, to the frosted ultra detail, the Volvo goes to $28 and the Malibu to $29. And if you go to frosted extreme detail, the Volvo goes to $38 and this goes to $40. So that seems a little extreme to me for an HO scale car. Even $15 is a little bit of a push, because we'll have to do a fair amount of work to these. But if you want to get a decent modern, and they look good to me, shape-wise and everything, modern vehicle, okay, maybe I can spend $15 for a couple of these. Not a whole lot, but some. So, again, I wanted to show, I don't know if because it's white, if you can see the pattern that's on the top of it. I don't know how well. It's very easily discernible once you look at it, but I don't know what the whiteness and the glare from the lights, if it's going to show. There you go. I think you can see that there. So that's, and the Volvo has a similar pattern in its roof, a little bit smaller because it's a little bit smaller roof. So that's going to take, some work to get that smooth, because cars don't have a grainy texture, right? They're all usually smooth and metallic painted and whatnot. But I thought these were pretty nice. I just wanted to kind of show them. Again, I'll put the creator's information in the description. He's got a lot of vehicles. It's really fun looking through them because he's got a lot of modern vehicles, automobiles, and I'll call them normal types. He's got some of the cool 1970s type, Ford Gran Torinos, Cutlass Supremes, Cadillac Sevilles, to the Chevy Malibus, Ford Focuses, Dodge Cavaliers, pickup trucks. He's got a Ford Ranger I might buy, because my first vehicle that I bought brand new was a Ford Ranger, so I might buy that just to have it on the layout just for fun. So take a look. He's got a lot of nice vehicles, and also in a lot of different scales, not just HO scale. So it's definitely worth taking a look at them. I thought they were pretty nice, but again, don't know what I'm going to do yet for the front windshield. The material seems like it's pretty tough, so I don't know what it'll be like if I try to get in there and actually cut that windshield out to put some type of glass material front and back. Maybe leave or you could always, if it's summertime, you could always cut that out and say the window is down. Put some people in there, a guy there with his arm hanging out and whatnot. So I think it's doable. And the fact that they are hollow might also allow you, if you wanted to actually add LED headlights, tail lights, turn signals, and that kind of stuff. And then obviously you'd have to do some paint work to get a license plate, the chrome work, the door handles, that kind of stuff, and probably a picture of the actual vehicle would help in that regard. Like I said, my neighbor might think I'm weird if I walk up and start snapping pictures of his Volvo, but I might be able to use that as reference. So just wanted to show these from the particular selection of automobiles, and if you are interested, take a look. Any thoughts? Maybe someone's actually bought some of these and tried it and done it. What are your thoughts on how we could make this, at least the front windshield, rear windshield, be clear? Because they're certainly not solid. The sides, again, we might be able to get away with something tinted wise or lowered, but these might be okay. Maybe not for real foreground, just because I'm not sure how well I'll be able to accomplish what I want to do there with the windows. But certainly in a parking lot, or maybe back, a little bit, not right in the front, but back a ways, they certainly do convey the shape of the particular vehicle, and you probably could recognize it. I mean, I recognized that right away when I was looking through as the Volvo XC70, and then the more typical, Malibu, Ford Focus. He's got a lot of pickup trucks on there. I didn't see like a Honda Pilot, which is our other vehicle. I see a lot of Honda Pilots around. Didn't see one of those. Anyway, just want to show these so you can see kind of what they look like, and something you might want to consider. And again, if anyone has purchased these and done some work, I'd love to see it, put in the comments or link to a video, or let me know. I'll link to it in our video, how you worked the interior of it, maybe even added lights, and how you address the windshield issue with it. But that is that. So there's some HO scale vehicles, and again, there's our guy supervising from on top of the Padmount transformer. I don't recommend that. Do not do this yourself in person. So there we go. A couple new 3D printed objects for your modeling pleasure.